What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with some hot topics, you guys. It's Friday. Friday. All right, you guys. So, these are going to be the hot topics for the week of August the 15th through August the 20th. My best friend's birthday is in 5 days. Her birthday is on the 25th. Yeah, my best friend's birthday is the 25th, and my cousin's birthday is the 24th. And so yeah, so if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and guys are not subscribed to the channel, let me need you guys to just do me a big solid favor and hit that subscribe button and stop taking me out on this date and making me pay for my food at the end of the day. All right, you guys. So with that out of the way, without further ado, let's just get into these trending topics and these hot topics for the week of what? August the 15th through August the 20th. All right, you guys, let's talk about it. All right, guys, the first thing that I want to talk about is my governor here in Texas, Wheelchair Willie. So let's talk about this asshole real quick. So you guys know, if you guys haven't been paying attention to like the news and stuff, so you know that he and Governor DeSantis in Florida, they are dead set against the mask mandates, right? So I know that my governor went to court because, like I said last week, the county, one of our judges in Dallas, Clay Jenkins, he put in a mask mandate where in Dallas County you have to wear a mask. And I know that the school board, in Dallas, they're implementing where the kids have to wear the mask, but he doesn't want that, right? So he took it to the Supreme Court, but I think that the Supreme Court ruled against him. Isn't that funny? Your Supreme Court ruled against you, right? But like I said, he's against the mask mandate, right? Well, this week it came out, I believe it was early this week, right, where it came out that he tested positive for COVID-19. I'm like, oh, so the asshole who is so dead set against wearing masks got COVID. But here's the other thing that they also made mention of, that he's also been vaccinated, right? Now, there's a lot of people who argue, well, that's the point in getting vaccinated. The point in getting vaccinated, when you get vaccinated, it's not saying that you cannot get said COVID-19, flu, emphysema. Is that what it is? Influenza, I think that's what it is. Influenza, chickenpox, smallpox. It's not saying that you can't get that shit. You know, measles, the mumps, meningitis. It's not saying that you can't get that stuff. It lessens your chances of getting it, number one. And then if you do in fact get it, the effects of it won't be as severe. Now, I do know that there are cases of people who have been vaccinated that, have got COVID and they have died. I know that there are cases out there. I've saw them. But like I said, getting the vaccine is not saying that you won't ever be able to get it, right? Like with the flu shot, people get the flu shot every freaking year, but sometimes they still get the flu, but the symptoms are just not as bad. Like I said in last week's review video, that remember, I was working at Hertz. Someone had the flu, brought it in, gave it to me, and I gave it to another coworker. I never want the flu again in my life, especially after spending that much, that Tamiflu medication that you have to buy. That shit was expensive. It was over $100. But I still don't get the flu. But the funny thing is, with the mask, right? If you guys look at the reports last year with the flu virus was very low last year. The flu was low because of the mask. Like, I don't get what the issue is. Like, all you gotta do is this. What's so bad about this? Nothing. I can breathe in this. Now, when I go to the gym, will I say I wear my mask all the time? Probably. Actually, yes, I do. It'd be so sweaty in this bitch. But I figured out a way to work. I figured out a way to work out with my mask on. Like, it's not that deep, you guys. Like, it's not. People. I hate the fact that it's become such a political thing about wearing a mask, right? But like I said, he got COVID-19. Now they said that he had no symptoms, so he was asymptomatic. But he had there was this big, I don't know if it was like a Republican event And it was a lot of people there, and they were maskless, right? I hope those people got tested. That is the one thing I can say. I hope those people got their asses tested. So he's been tested every day. He's tested every day, and he has been isolated in the governor's mansion. But here's the other thing that I have an issue with, right? And it's the same thing like what happened with who last year when he got COVID. So Governor Hot Wheels, he also was able to get Regeneron, which is something that normal, average, everyday people don't have access to. Which I think that is fucked up in itself too, right? I just have an issue with that. They said that his wife doesn't have COVID, but I would hope that this would wake him up, but it's not. It's really not. It's gonna be the same shit with him going forward. But like I always say to you guys, just wear a mask. Like I said, is it uncomfortable to wear the mask and walk around? Absolutely. But if you don't want to, my thing is people talk about my body, my choice, right? And I said this in Roxanne's comments last week when she did her top of the blogs. My thing is people keep saying my body, my choice, right? But like I said last week, your body, your choice. But if you're asymptomatic and you give it to me, bitch, it ain't just your body that's affected. It's my body that gets affected. Like I said about the flu, I have never that was 2016. So in 2016 when I got it, I was 27 years old. In 27 years, I had never once ever had the flu, but I got it then, right? And so if someone said my body, my choice, your body, yeah, your body. You can get the flu if you want it and keep the flu, but you don't have the right to give it to me, someone that didn't ask for it. So it's not really just your body, your choice. Like people want to say, and people want to have the argument about abortion, right? Well, that's a baby, so it's not just her body. Well, if the mother says she wants to have an abortion, that is her body. That is her right to do whatever she wants to do with her body. Like y'all don't want the government to tell y'all to wear a mask, but y'all want the government to tell a woman that she needs to get a fucking abortion. Pick and choose, because it's hypocritical at best. It's hypocritical. You don't want the government to police your body, but it's okay for the government to police a woman's womb. Like, the fuck? And then somebody's gonna argue with me on Twitter something about, abstinence or use protection, condoms, birth control. Well, let me tell you a little secret. Birth control and condoms are not 100% effective. Then do you know how many people are told by doctors that there are women that are told that they can't get pregnant? But damn, what happens when they have sex you can have sex and there are so many women, when you hear women say, oh my God, I didn't even know I was pregnant. And that's 9 times out of 10, that's most times that's because either the doctor told them that they couldn't have kids or that the husband was sterile, right? And that's another thing. Men who think that they're sterile can get a woman pregnant, right? It's I don't think people know statistics and shit like that, but yeah, you can still, yeah. And I even tweeted, they were like, so you're for abortion. Not necessarily that I'm for abortion, but I would much rather a woman make the decision to have an abortion than to have a baby, do God knows what to the baby, mistreat the baby, starve the baby, do anything that hurts the baby. I'm for her doing what's best for her than to bring a child in this world and do God knows what with. Like the woman, I think it was in Chicago, when she left the baby in a trash can. She left the baby in a trash can. What do you have to say to that? And then also when you got the kids in the system that are mistreated. But what, these people don't give a fuck about the kids until they don't give a fuck about the kids once they're here. They just care about it while it's in the womb. But get a little motherfucker in the womb a motherfucking social security number, and you tell me how you feel about it at that point. Exactly. I'm tired of talking about that. I'm gonna move on to. All right, you guys. So since I'm talking about mask, this is a story that I mean, I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about it, but this is her personal business, basically, right? So Carrie Underwood. Now, if you guys know anything about me, I am a big, big, big fan of Carrie Underwood. I love me some Carrie Underwood. Oh my God, she's my favorite. She's one of my favorite country artists, right? So I saw earlier this week where people were upset with Carrie Underwood, and one person in particular that I know from a reality TV show called Big Brother. His name is Andy, which I can't stand his ass anyways. But he was talking about the fact that, Kelly Clarkson is a real true American Idol and Carrie is nothing. Well, you have your opinions about who's who, but they're both great artists. They're both equally good. So I'm not going to sit here and knock Kelly, and, I'm not going to sit here and do, compare and contrast, right? But people were upset with Carrie because of, her I think it was her Twitter and her Instagram, right? So her Twitter liked this post, a Twitter video posted by a conservative commentator, which I don't know his name. It said in an article that I read what his name was, but I didn't want to take his name down because I don't really care about him, right? But the video was him talking about masks, Now, I don't know how people in their brain are equating mask to... My bad, y'all. There was a spider on my car, and I killed it. So I don't know how people are trying to equate masks and say that masks are like a form of child abuse. Like, what? But whatever, right? So I know here in Texas there's an issue with kids wearing a mask in school, right? I know in Nashville, Tennessee, there's an issue as well, right? So this person that Carrie's Twitter page liked their video, he's against the mask mandates, right? And more specifically, I guess, against kids, because they're talking about, I think what it said, and this is what I read, that more kids are dying from the flu than COVID-19. I don't know how true or false that is. Take it with a grain of salt, a fine grain of salt, right? So people are upset that Carrie liked that tweet, right? But my whole thing is, like I just said a minute ago, yes, masks are uncomfortable to wear, right? But it's a part of prevention, right? But also, when it comes to parents and their kids, that's their, oh God, I don't know how I feel about that, right? I don't feel that, we should, with the schools, right? Because kids are definitely, they are more prone, they get sick, and kids don't have the wherewithal to not, they're not like adults, right? If an adult, well, hell, even some adults, when they get sick, they still want to be around other people, right? But kids want to be around their friends. So if they're sick, even when I was a kid and I would get sick, and my mom would say, you got to stay home. I want to go home. I want to go to school and be around my friends. But she told me, no, you got to stay home because you're sick and you can give it to somebody else. So it's a catch-22, I guess you could say, right? With the mask, I feel that the mask, I feel that, to be safe and protect everyone, let's wear a mask, right? I'm not saying get vaccinated. I'm just saying wear a mask. I'm not telling anybody to get vaccinated. I just feel that we should wear the mask. But I guess Carrie doesn't feel that her kids should wear a mask. But that's her prerogative, right? I just know that if I had kids and my kids said, oh, I'm in a school with Carrie Underwood's kids, I'm like, oh no, you're coming out. Like, I don't want you, like, I'm not saying that her kids would have COVID or anything, but I'll be like, you know what? I don't want my kids in that environment, right? My kids are going to go to school and wear a mask. That's just how I feel personally, right? I'm not going to sit here and say that your kids should wear a mask, but I know my kids are not going to be around yours. If you feel, if they're not wearing them, my kids are not going to be anywhere near yours. And that's just my personal viewpoint. And I guess I'm not going to take away from her viewpoint, right? But like I said, so many people are upset with her. And the thing for me is with Carrie, you guys do realize she's from Oklahoma, right? So 9 times out of 10, she's probably a Republican. Oklahoma is another red state, just like Texas. So so for me personally, I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna be upset with Carrie. I'm not gonna knock Carrie. I just feel like for me, I think I think we should wear the mask, right? I think we should. But people have their opinions, and we're all entitled to our opinions. And I think that's where I'm coming from. We should all be entitled to our opinions. But I don't agree with us putting other people, it's interesting, right? It's interesting. Because I have been thinking about that for a while with the kids in schools. I've definitely been thinking about that one. Like, I go back and forth. Like, I'm like, I think the kids should wear the mask. But then I think to myself, like, should that be up to the parents, So I don't know. That's where I get the most interested. That's where I kind of wiffle waffle. But with adults, I definitely feel we should wear a mask in public places. But school, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, because that's an interesting one. That's the one. That's where I will honestly tell you guys, I have no. And I guess it's because I don't have kids. I think that's really truly what it is, because I just don't have any kids. But let me know what you guys think, and we're gonna move on. All right, guys. So this might not be in any particular order, but the one thing that I want to talk about, and this might be like, no, this ain't gonna be the last thing. It'll be the next to last thing that I in the video that you guys see. I want to talk about Lizzo real quick. So these are not even in my notes, but I did put it down for my my topics to discuss this week. So let's talk about Lizzo. So you guys know that last week Lizzo released her new single with Cardi B called Rumors, right? And I listened to the song, and for me personally, I'm not particularly fond of the song. I like the video. I will say that the visuals were good, but the song in itself is just not for me. So I don't know if I will. I mean, I might listen to it again. I might give it another listen to see, if my viewpoint changes on it, right? But on first listen and even watching the video, it just wasn't. It didn't make me want to say, hey, let me go buy it, right? But I'm not gonna shit on Lizzo by no means. Lizzo's a talented, she's a talented woman, talented artist. So I'm not gonna, sit here and be like, oh my God, it was terrible. It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't the best for me, right? So this week I saw on Instagram, I believe it was, where Lizzo was on Instagram Live and she was crying. Now, you guys can let me know why she was crying, because I still haven't really watched the video, so I don't know why she was crying. But I did see that yesterday she was on Good Morning America. Either she was on I think she was on Good Morning America. And she was talking about, the industry, how it is for her, right? And my thing when it comes to Lizzo is, there are so many people who criticize Lizzo, right? And we all know what the criticism is, right? People even say she's too fat, which, okay, she's happy with that. She's happy with her weight. And I don't understand why people get so concerned about other people's weight or things that doesn't have anything to do with you. If it has nothing to do with you, why do you focus so deeply on it? Like, I don't understand that, right? And I'm not going to sit here and say that I know why she was crying. But, here's my thing about that, right? Me personally, I wouldn't get on Instagram Live, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, any live platform. Me personally, I just wouldn't get on there and cry, right? Now, it's one thing if I'm doing a video and I'm doing a video and I'm talking about a subject that, affects me and I start crying. That's one thing. Like, you guys have saw me on this channel cry about my mom, right? That's something that I can't control, because, sometimes I try not to cry about her, but then there are times where I can't control it and the tears just flow out, right? So I get that. But me personally, just to get on the camera and just start crying, hell no, that ain't me. But, my thing is, people are so rude and so mean when it comes to social media, right? Because, like I said, you have a lot of people who make the fat jokes about Lizzo, but I'm pretty sure Lizzo over the years has heard those jokes, right? About her being fat and all that kind of shit, right? Like the one that I said last week, where she had to come out and say, I'm not that damn big, where someone, I don't know who put it out, but that allegedly she had stage dove and killed somebody by landing on them. So people say, so people make their jokes about her weight. But I think the thing is, when it comes to social media, people feel so emboldened by being sitting behind a computer screen, a phone screen, whatever kind of screen you're sitting behind. People feel so emboldened when they sit there using their Twitter fingers and, Instagram, using them fingers to talk shit about people, but you wouldn't bust a grape, and if you see these people in person, you wouldn't have shit to say. Like, I feel like when it comes to these social media trolls, block them, ignore them, don't look at them, because people are gonna troll you regardless, right? Whether you do something good or bad. I mean, I'm pretty sure people troll Beyonce, and she doesn't, she pays it dust. The thing is, Beyonce doesn't even follow people, but I'm pretty sure Beyonce Googles the fuck out of her name. I know she does. Can't tell me she don't. Beyonce Googles her name. So yeah, I don't know what the issue was with Lizzo. You guys can definitely get down in the comment section and let me know what it was. Like I said, I don't know. I haven't watched it. But social media trolls, get a life. That's the moral of the story for me. Get a motherfucking life. But we're gonna move on, you guys. Alright, you guys, next up, let's talk about Nicki Minaj, right? So you guys know Nicki Minaj and her husband Kenneth Petty, right? So you guys know that Kenneth Petty, he was, he has that, he had that case against him about the sexual assault case against him, right? So the woman, her name, I forgot to write her name down. But the woman that was involved in that case right now, she's now speaking out, right, about Nicki and Kenneth, right? So she's now taking legal actions, right? She's taking legal actions against Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty. Now, I'm gonna say that this stuff is all alleged because they haven't gone to court and no evidence has been provided, right? So I'm gonna say all of this is alleged at this point. But I feel some type of way about Nicki Minaj. If what this girl is saying Nicki Minaj did, fucked up, and we're gonna talk about it. So it says after months of alleged harassment, threats, and intimidation from Minaj, Petty, and their associates, she's saying that at one point the one time that she and Nicki Minaj had a one-on-one phone conversation with each other, she said that Nicki told her she offered to fly her and her family out to LA, and she also offered to send her publicist to where she lives. Now, let me ask this question. What the fuck was y'all gonna do out in LA if you flew her out there? What were y'all gonna do? Like, I can fly my own self to LA and do whatever I want to do. So, I guess the big thing is, oh my God, Nicki Minaj flew me out to LA. I hung out with Nicki Minaj. I took pictures with Nicki Minaj. I did this with Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj this, Nicki Minaj that. That's really basically what it would have been like, right? Some bragging rights for her. Like, Nicki, if you really even did this shit, girl, you fuck. Alright, you guys, sorry about that. I gotta upgrade this camera soon. The storage space. So, what was I talking about? Nicki Minaj and okay, so yeah, it's like it's basically you wanted this woman to come out there so that way she could basically have bragging rights to say she did this with Nicki Minaj, and then in turn, I guess she was gonna recant her, where she said about Kenneth. That's witness tampering. But like, why would you involve? Like, my thing with Nicki is, why would you involve yourself in some shit like that? Like, think about your image. Think about your brand. Like, think about that. Let Kenneth handle his own shit, right? Let Kenneth deal with his shit. Kenneth needs to take care of his shit, not you. Like, you got so much to lose. Why would you involve yourself in some bullshit like that? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, why involve yourself in some shit that really was before you, ain't got nothing to do with you? Yeah. So then it also says that, so there was a male acquaintance that knew both Petty and, I think her name was Hogue or something like that. Hough, I believe that's what her last name is. So, I think they said that he made some posts on Facebook stories or something like that, right? And they also said that, for months last year, he tried to get this young lady to recant her story, which is like, what the fuck? Like, I just don't understand people, right? And it's really, like I said, it's really, for me, it's Nicki Minaj. Like, why would you involve yourself in something that, like I said, it just has absolutely nothing to do with you? Like, yeah, I get that that's your husband and whatnot, but at the end of the day, that shouldn't have been something that you put yourself in the middle of. Because now, when it goes to court, if these allegations are in fact true, like, you got to answer to that. Like, intimidation, bribery, witness tampering. Like, really? Like, I'm just looking at Nikki with a side eye, with a big ass side eye. I'm really side eyeing the fuck out of Nikki. But let me know what you guys think about that. And we're going to move on. Alright, guys, next up, let's discuss Nivea. So, Nivea. Now, this is going to be an interesting story, right? So, if you guys are, so I know who this personal trainer is that she aired out, right? His name is DP. I actually follow him on Instagram. He works with Porsche. He's worked with, I believe, Malaysia. I think he's done some stuff with Quad. I know he's worked with a lot of Atlanta people, right? Because he is an Atlanta trainer, right? So I know who he is. His name is DP. He actually just recently had a baby. Maybe if the baby's not a year, she's at least pretty close to being a year old, right? So Nivea aired DP out. His name is Darrell Patterson, right? So on social media, she aired him out on social media after he reportedly slept with her, and he denied it, right? So she shared a message on her Instagram story last weekend about them, right? And she tagged him and his girlfriend in the in Instagram stories, right? And I'm gonna quote to you guys what she said. She said, "Yep, I messed someone else's so-called man, and he pimped the shit out of me." I wonder if she said, "Yes, I messed with someone else's so-called man, and he pimped the shit out of me." And she also feels that she's not the only woman that he's done this to, right? So then he came out and he basically denied having any involvement with her, right? He says that, Nivea was coming on to him, but Nivea knew he had a girlfriend and that he wasn't leaving his girlfriend for Nivea, which, okay. This is alleged, so I'm going to say allegedly for everything, right? But he says that, he told Nivea that he had a girlfriend. He wasn't leaving her. But like I just said, he does have a baby. He has a baby with his girlfriend, right? And he did, now I will say on his Instagram, he did post his girlfriend, especially when she was doing her pregnancy. He posted her. He posted the girl throughout her pregnancy. And I think the baby is almost a year old. I'm not positive. But Nivea, when she saw that, right, she came back out with text messages proving that they actually did have a relationship with each other, right? And my thing is, right, I'm not going to come down on Nivea by no means. I'm not going to come down on her. But what I will say is, even the thing about dudes, most dudes, not all, but some of these dudes will have these girlfriends, have babies with them, post them on social media, but tell the next woman, oh, I'm just doing that to keep up appearances, so that way, I can be in my child's life. I'm not saying that this is what he did, but we know that some dudes will do that. But I just wish Nivea I wish Nivea hadn't gotten involved with him, right? Because it's a whole mess and a whole shit show at this point. But that's really all I gotta say. If he did do that, which the text messages can't lie. Like, you can say whatever you want to say about her. You can say that the text messages are whatever. Y'all gotta be. If you're gonna cheat, actually don't cheat at all. But if you're gonna cheat, be smart about it. I would say, like, probably do vanishing stories on Instagram, or do Snapchat. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think about that, and we are going to move on, you guys. Alright, you guys, so since I'm getting small stuff out the way, let's talk about this shit, and I'm probably going to be done with this after this. So this is going to be the last thing, and actually this is going to wrap up the video for me, actually. Let's talk about Fallon real quick, right, you guys? Fallon Guabadia, or is she divorced yet from Simon? Hell, I really haven't kept up with the Fallon, the Simon, and the Porsche saga since it happened earlier this year. Have not kept up with it. Like, I see Porsche on my timeline. I'm still following Porsche. But for me, I gotta love my girl from a distance because I feel like the situation is fucked up, right? But I still love me some Portia, so don't get in my comments like, you still love her? Yes, I do. But what Portia did was wrong and fucked up. But see, you guys remember earlier when they first came out about Portia and Simon, you guys remember that Simon said that Fallon was pregnant, right? But then you guys also remember Fallon did an interview with Up and Adam. Now, I did not watch the interview. I had no interest in watching that interview because at that point, I was exhausted, I was drained, and I was tired. Because at that point, when she did that interview, that's when Portia was doing a whole lot of posting, right, on Instagram. And I was like, this is like, y'all are just throwing this in our face at this point. And I'm like, for me, it just feels like a storyline. But I do know that the Real Housewives of Atlanta, they did start production, but production has stopped, right? And I think that's going to be the issue with a lot of these Housewives franchise, a lot of Housewives, right? You guys remember Orange County. Orange County should have been aired by now, right? Typically, Orange County airs in July, but this year, production of Orange County, they pushed it back. And Atlanta, production got pushed back, right? And then we also know with the Real Housewives of Dallas, they're on a hiatus. They're on a pause right now. I feel a way about Real Housewives of Dallas being put on pause because, one, I actually like Real Housewives of Dallas. I live in Dallas. I'm a Texas native. So it was nice to see my state on television. Now, I want to just veer off of Fallon for just a second and talk about the Real Housewives of Dallas, right? So people are talking about, Real Housewives of Dallas. It was racist. It was this. It was that. Yes, you do have some people on there that are considered racist, right? Cameron Westcott. But the thing for me when it comes to the Real Housewives of Dallas, right? And Roxanne says it's on her channel about Atlanta, right? With Atlanta, you just have Atlanta. You have Atlanta. That's black. But drive outside of Atlanta, it'll be a different story, right? And that's the same. The same could be said for Texas, right? The true black city in Texas is really Houston, but majority of Texas is actually not the majority. All of Texas. Texas is a red state. It's a Republican state. So you're gonna get your racism. Like, you're gonna find white people that are racist. Like, I've met more racist white people than I can carry a count, right? Like, my mom, actually, when she was living, she worked for someone, and the person, was going through dementia and said some, offensive things, right? But, it happened. People go back to that go back to how they grew up, right? So Texas, like I said, red state. These people, I don't know what people are expecting. But then my other thing is, you guys are talking about the fact that some of the Dallas housewives were racist, but you got the likes of a Ramona Singer who's racist. And I'm gonna say it, I don't give a fuck. Ramona's racist. And then they talk about MAGA supporters. You guys do realize that a lot of these housewives are MAGA supporters, right? Ramona. Who else is a MAGA supporter that I know of off the top of my dome? Teresa from Jersey is a MAGA supporter. You guys remember, she wanted who to help with Joe being deported. Teresa. Oh my God. Here's the biggest quack of them all. Siggy Flicker. Siggy is a huge MAGA supporter. But okay, go off, y'all. But where am I at? What am I talking about? But yeah, I just want to talk about Dallas real quick because I didn't talk about it in Beverly Hills. But let's talk about Fallon. Let's get to Fallon. So I don't know what's going on with Fallon. I don't know if Fallon has a little docu-series or quote reality show on YouTube. I don't know, but I know I've been seeing the clips, right? I don't care to watch it because I'm just not that interested in Fallon. I wasn't that interested in her on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm not interested in her now. But she did that. Oh, my bad, y'all. I didn't mean to burp in your face. But she did that, right? So now it's come out that she is pregnant by her boyfriend. Is his name Jalen? Again, I don't know I don't know much about them. But she did show her stomach, right? So it doesn't look like she's like super far. But it doesn't look like because people were saying she's about 8 or 9 months pregnant. I'm like, that unless she's malnourished, I don't think she's 8 or 9 months pregnant. I would give her, from what I was looking at, I'm thinking that's maybe 4 months, 4 months. I would say 4 months at least, right? I don't know. You guys can let me know. Let me know what you guys think about this. But after this, I'm not talking about that situation anymore. I know Portia has talked about her family show that's coming up. We'll probably review it. We'll probably review her family show. I know Candy's show is supposed to be coming up too. Her spinoff show. I do intend to review that. So we'll talk about it. But I'm really tired of talking about Simon, Fallon, Portia, and the likes. But this is the last time that I'm gonna mention Fallon. But that's it, you guys. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you guys think about everything that we discussed in this video. As always, you guys, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, wear a mask. We do this every single week, same time, same place. Now, this week, the days got away from me. So that's why this video was a little bit late this week. So I'm sorry about that. But yeah, you guys get down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about everything that we've discussed in Hot Topics this week. And I hope you guys have a blessed and safe weekend. And I'll see you guys later on for Love After Lockup. Oh my God, it's 2 hours. I'll see you guys for that one. Bye, guys.